With Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart coming out soon, I've seen a lot of people thinking that this game is the sequel to the PS4 reboot, when this is actually not the case. I'm here to fix this misconception and give a summary of the story so far, and what I think might be relevant to know for Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. So firstly, the PS4 Ratchet and Clank reboot was actually a game about a film about the game. Rift Apart has been confirmed by Insomniac to not follow the PS4 reboot's timeline. Rift Apart, in fact, actually follows the original Ratchet and Clank timeline and is a sequel to Ratchet and Clank Nexus, which came out in 2013. The best way to think about this is that the PS4 reboot just doesn't exist. So let's go through the Ratchet timeline and find out what we need to know for Rift Apart. Ratchet and Clank was first released on the PS2 in 2002. The story follows Ratchet and Clank as they attempt to stop Supreme Executive Chairman Drek as he attempts to build a new planet for his people by taking pieces of other planets and merging them together.
And if you don't like it, you can take your whiny, snivelling, snot-nosed populations, form a line behind me, and kiss my... We're still on? Well, turn it off, you idiot!
The story in this game is largely inconsequential to the main timeline, the only notable events being Ratchet and Clank forming a lasting bond of friendship, after initially disliking each other, and the introduction of Captain Quark, who is perhaps one of the most interesting characters in the series. Captain Copernicus Leslie Quark is the Solana Galaxy's self-proclaimed superhero, though in reality he is an egotistical coward. He believes he is the galaxy superhero, but curls up in a ball at the first sign of danger. The series plays off his character as comic relief, but he is perhaps one of the more important characters in the story. Ratchet looks up to Quark as a hero, only to find out what he truly is, someone who is working for Drek in order to keep his fame and status. Quark is not oblivious to what he is doing, however, and tries to redeem himself. The problem is that his character is incredibly flawed, and often his self-centered nature gets in the way, which leads us to Ratchet and Clank Going Commando, the second game in the series released in 2003. The story for this game starts with Ratchet becoming employed by Abercrombie Fizzwidget, the CEO of Megacorp, who requests Ratchet help recover a stolen protopet from a masked thief. The thief turns out to be a female Lombax by the name of Angela Cross, who has stolen the protopet due to it being highly dangerous. They team up and attempt to stop Fizzwidget, only to discover that the CEO is none other than the disgraced hero, Captain Quark. In a bid to restore his reputation, Quark took over Megacorp as Fizzwidget, holding the actual Fizzwidget hostage in a supply closet, with the intention of unleashing the protopet upon the galaxy so that he can defeat the creatures and make himself famous again.
Stay tuned, dear viewers, as I amplify the signal from this helixo thingy and render every protopet in the galaxy completely harmless. Allow me to demonstrate. Mommy!
It's important to note here that Quark was once a hero. He just over-embellished his actions. But still, he acted for the galaxy. That is, until a certain event happened. Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal was released in 2004 and introduces the series' main recurring villain, Dr. Nefarious.
I believe it was a Captain Quark or something.
Oh, Janice, you'll always be the love of my life.
You really should have that looked at.
Yeah, what's up, people? It's Carnegie!
Dr. Nefarious is a scientist, and originally Captain Quark's arch nemesis. In fact, Quark used to bully the guy in school, so I guess in a way Quark was actually responsible for creating the villain that is Dr. Nefarious. Each of Nefarious's dastardly acts were met with defeat at the hands of Quark, and during one such defeat, Quark accidentally almost kills him by giving him a wedgie. Now, I could get into great detail about Quirk's flawed character, but I think that's a story for another video. Nefarious returns as a robot, having constructed a bio-obliterator, and intends to convert all living entities in the galaxy into robots. The key point to note here is that it was Nefarious that captured Quirk, making him lose his self-confidence, turning him into the kind of person that would work for Drek. This event resurfaces and Quirk fakes his own death, running away from his responsibilities and from Nefarious. Ratchet finds him and manages to talk him into acting like the hero the galaxy believes him to be, and together they put an end to Nefarious's plans. Ratchet and Clank Future Tools of Destruction was released on PS3 in 2007. This is the first game in the series that really starts to build a wider continuing plot over the Ratchet games. Metropolis is attacked by
Emperor Percival Tachyon, Crown Prince of the Kragmites, conqueror of space and time, and, pending the obliteration of a few insubordinate species, ruler of the universe.
Confronting him, we discover that Ratchet is the last remaining Lombax, and that the Lombaxes have disappeared. Ratchet and Clank manage to escape Tachyon and decide to investigate him. It is during this time that Clank starts to see the Zoni, small telepathic creatures that explain that he is built for a special purpose. The investigation leads them to a remote space station in an asteroid field where they meet Tawin and her allies Kronk and Zephyr. Tawin explains that her father was the galaxy's leading expert on Lombax technology and thus may hold the secret to their disappearance. With their help, Ratchet learns of the Great War, a conflict between the Lombaxes and the Kragmite Empire that ended with the complete eradication of the latter. However, he also learns that the Kragmites were not killed but instead banished to a distant star using a powerful Lombax device known as the Dimensionator, a helmet capable of opening wormholes to other dimensions. One Kragmite egg remained, but rather than destroying it, the Lombax raised it as their own. However, when the young Tachyon learns of his origins, he raised an army and attacked the Lombaxes. Unable to defeat him, the Lombaxes used the Dimensionator to escape. A young Ratchet and his father stayed behind to hide the Dimensionator so Tachyon could not follow. However, Ratchet's father was killed and Ratchet himself sent away for safety.
Finally, the time has come for the Kragmites to rise again! To rise again! To rise again!
Ratchet and Tachyon fight over the Dimensionator, Ratchet coming out victorious. The Dimensionator is destroyed in the battle, and with it, Ratchet's only way to find his people. The Zoni appear, claiming Clank is ready to learn his true purpose and take him away. Quest for Booty was released on the PS3 in 2008. This was a 3 to 4 hour tie-in game for the next game in the series. A year after the events of Tour and Destruction, Ratchet and Tawin are hunting down a pirate captain, Angston Darkwater, who may know how to contact the Zoni. Ratchet defeats the pirate and activates the Obsidian Eye, learning that Clank has been damaged by overexposure to Zoni energy, losing his memories. The Zoni find a doctor to help Clank, however this doctor turns out to be none other than Dr. Nefarious.
Born from disaster, I created the universe's greatest contingency plan. The Great Clock. Designed to repair time itself.
Ratchet and Clank: A Crack in Time was released on the PS3 in 2009. The events of the story follow straight on from Quest for Booty. We find that Dr. Nefarious is using his partnership with the Zoni to find the Orvus Chamber, promptly betraying them the first chance he gets. Clank learns about the Great Clock from Sigmund, the clock's caretaker. He teaches Clank that the clock maintains temporal normality across the universe, and that it should never be used as a time machine. Clank also sees a recording of Orvis, the clock's designer, who reveals that he is Clank's creator, and that he is leaving the clock in Clank's care. Meanwhile, Ratchet tracks down Alistair Azimuth, another Lombax that stayed behind, and someone who was a good friend to Ratchet's late father. It is revealed that Alistair was indirectly responsible for the Lombax's destruction, as he was the one who gave Tachyon access to the Lombax technology, and was exiled for his crimes. He plans to use the clock to rewrite history, bringing back the Lombaxes and allowing Ratchet a chance to get back his family. Back in the clock, Clank meets the plumber in his subconscious. I've not mentioned this character before, but he appears in all Ratchet and Clank games and seems to be a character somewhat akin to Hoyd from the Cosmere. And for those that don't know who that is, the plumber appears to be some kind of godlike being that can appear anywhere and everywhere he pleases. He cryptically tells Clank not to risk any more than 6 minutes.
Oh, and by the way, I wouldn't risk any more than 6 minutes.
Ratchet and Clank manage to reunite, but after Clank repeats Orvis's warning of the damage to reality the clock could cause if used incorrectly, Ratchet gives up on the idea of using it to save his family and the Lombaxes. An upset Alistair leaves. Ratchet and Clank meet with Quark to infiltrate Nefarious' space station and destroy his armada, so that he cannot reach the clock. They are confronted by Nefarious himself, who explains his plan to change time to make a perfect universe where villains always triumph over heroes, as retaliation for his previous defeat. After a victorious battle, Ratchet narrowly manages to escape destruction with the help of Alistair coming back to save him. Ratchet and Clank and Alistair regroup at the clock, where Alistair uses this chance to set things right. He kills Ratchet and heads for the Orvis chamber. Clank beats him there, and remembering the plumber's words, uses the clock to rewind time no more than 6 minutes. Time now rewound, Clank saves Ratchet from Alistair, and the two fight it out as the clock is turned on and time begins to destabilize. Realizing the clock cannot undo the past, Alistair sacrifices himself to stop the clock. In the aftermath, Clank gives the job of looking after the clock to Sigmund so that he can stay with Ratchet, at least until Ratchet finds his family.
The universe looks at you and sees a hero. But do you know what I see? A coward. Someone who lost the guts to find his race. My brother's going to find me, and he's gonna hurt all of you.
And finally we come to Ratchet and Clank Into the Nexus, released on PS3 in 2013. In the time since the previous game, Ratchet has joined Tawin, Kronk and Zephyr, working now for the Polaris Defense Force. The evil Vendra manages to escape with the help of her brother Neftin, and Kronk and Zephyr are killed as the prison ship they are on explodes. Ratchet races to planet Silox, as Vendra is trying to get her hands on a newly made device resembling the Dimensionator, wanting to free the Nevers from their dimension. Vendra claims the Dimensionator and opens a portal to the Never, where the Eye promptly betrays her and seals her in the Never. With the help of Neftin, Clank frees Vendra and she helps seals the Nevers back into their dimension. The end shows Clank taking possession of the now broken Dimensionator so that he can use it to locate the Lombaxes. And there you have it. I suspect Rift Apart will be made for an audience where it might be their first game, so I don't think knowing about the missing Lombaxes or Clank's true purpose will be needed. However, the Dimensionator is in Rift Apart, so the idea that Ratchet might be able to reunite with the Lombaxes may come up.
Do you happen to need a 3 3/4 cubic hexagonal washer?
Just what the is going on?
I hope you enjoyed that video. Please like and subscribe, leave a comment, and if you'd like to see the story I am currently working on, please check out the link in the description below. This has been That's Effin' Rich. I am Richard Sheraton. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one.
Yeah, what's up, people? It's Party Gears. Are you feeling me, robots? I'm feeling you. I see the future, and what do I see? Robots going crazy across the galaxy. Can't stand again.